Within this window of the last few months, has the federal government specifically disbursed any kind of fund to the state government that you are aware of to fight poverty?
You know, one of the things you have said, and everybody must be very grateful to Mr. President for doing this. Number one, no state will say that their revenue has not actually sometimes multiplied by 2, sometimes doubled. As a result, and it's common sense, you will know that. In the past, the total amount of revenue monthly shared were somewhere around 600 billion to maybe about 620 billion max, sometimes even slightly lower. Today, you will see it. The total amount being shared, 1.1 billion, 1.1 trillion, 1.2 trillion, 1.3 trillion, and the rest of that. So you know, it is common sense. You don't need anybody to even guide you. Every state, as well as the federal government, are receiving improved revenue, thanks to Mr. President for allowing it to go like that. Okay? Because he will have said, no, this is money meant for subsidy, therefore we are going to take it and divert it somewhere. No, but they are sharing it so that every state will go and do other things. And every state is doing. What I don't understand is the impression.
You may not be able to guarantee if you are doing your own. Because it's not every state that we see that is doing.
We go to meetings.
You are talking different from what your colleagues are telling you, Governor Sule. Some of your colleagues are doing nothing. That's the fact that Nigerians need to realize.
Nobody
that
will
if they are in their state, in their own territory,
nobody will receive that kind of money and do nothing.
Really?
Nobody.
Nigerians are asking that governors need to now come forward and show what they are really doing. You have come on this platform to tell us you are building lithium factory. You show the world what you are doing. You are explaining, but this is not the same thing in all the states of the Federation. There are states in the Federation that are performing poorly, and we must call a spade a spade.
Well, I don't know any state that is not doing anything, because each time we come to the Nigerian Governors Forum meeting, we share ideas, people say what they are doing, and sometimes we see Mr. Vice President and other people going from one place to another, trying actually to commission one project, to commission one thing, and then we see people doing so much in agriculture. We see, as a matter of fact, this particular protest that came is actually an eye-opener, especially for my colleagues from the north. Even if anybody is not doing anything, this is the time to do something. Because we can't be blaming other people. I love the statement made by Shehu Sani, Senator, when he said that, forget about microscope, now look at a mirror. And this is the time. For me, I can't wait for next week or the week after, where we sit down as governors of northern Nigeria to sit down and tell each other the truth. So we must do something. We have no reason not to do anything.
Governor, because, I mean, if there is a clarion call now, that governors now need to show cause, that their people need to start trusting them. And you know the narrative that is going on in northern Nigeria, that there's some ways that the traditional and the religious direction or leadership in the northern Nigeria, as we used to know it, when the religious leader epitomized in the throne or in the emirate, they are like the direction. But that, for some reason, is being whittled down by politics. And now there seems to be people getting on the street because they feel that they are not well represented by those who lead them. And it brings one thing, it makes the northern Nigeria more vulnerable, because northern Nigeria is used to be a very well coordinated, politically well directed region of the country. But from what we saw in the past days, I think leaders in the northern Nigeria need to now sit up and know that there are people are now rising up and asking critical questions about transparency and how they lead them.
I will tell you, the next meeting that we shall have as governors of the northern Nigeria, it is no longer a meeting where you will say, oh, religion has forbidden me from doing this. Oh, this today, God has gifted us, the governors, with this leadership. If we don't go out to say this has to be done right, during this last protest that we had in Lafia, majority of those that came out on the street were the Almajiris, Some of them 5 years old, 7 years old, 9 years old. A lot of them didn't even understand the meaning of the protest. When I spoke with them later, they didn't even know what they were protesting against. You know, so we must sit down. At one point in the year 2020, we sat down as the governors and took the decision about the Almajiris. Unfortunately, it didn't work out well. They went back to square one. Some of the religious leaders criticized it, this and that. But from what happened now, I don't believe anybody will continue to criticize actions that will be taken in order to move forward. Otherwise, it will come, it's a time bomb, it will come and consume every one of us.
So what they say, something has come home to roost, isn't it? And it's an eye-opener that no leader can now take people for granted.
Correct.
The people are now more awoken. If there is one lesson that, apart from the fact what you have said, one lesson in terms of performance, that performance cannot only be deferred to the year of the election. It has to be now. In your own view, what do you think is now very much critical to your people that you need to start doing to persuade them, to make them know that you are really, really working in their interest? What would that be?
One is education. One of the biggest problems we have in the North, from the day I came, is idea of education, and the one we are still pushing on. When people actually don't have the education, don't have the economic empowerment, these people will continue to behave the way these Almajiris actually behave during this protest. So education must be taken seriously in the North. We must be honest with one another. We must face one another and say, sir, marrying so and so number of wives, having so and so number of children when you cannot even take care of yourself is wrong. No religion actually is promoting that. No religion is allowing that.
You don't think that was that's in the Holy Quran?
No.
That you can have more than one?
No, you can have more than one if you can afford. It also added, if you can. So it is not just because you are a Muslim. It is not just because you are a Muslim.
So Quran forbids you responsibility. Marrying wives are not being able to cater for them. And allowing the children out of that wedlock to go on the street and start begging.
No. Islam does not allow that.